So now we will enter into file handling. And file handling, that is also an interesting part in our course, I think, because we will try to use our Python, our programming language, to help us to create a folder, to create a file, and to create a text file. And also we can put some words in this text file. All these actions can done by our programming Python. So in this course, you will understand how to perform our file handling. But I think in these following 1 hour is not enough. So in next week, I will finish all the thing about the file handling. So in this part, in this chapter, I will divide that into 2 parts. The first one is directory handling. What is directory? Directory is just like a folder, a 资料夹 in your computer. And we will explain how to use your Python to handle with this directory. Like you need to understand this folder exists in your computer or not. And you can create a new folder or you can remove this folder. All these things you can perform by your programming language. And the second one is file handling. File handling is you can create a file. This file can include in the text file and your picture. Okay, you can copy a picture. You can copy a picture by your Python language. So today this will include 2 parts. Okay, so the first one is directory handling. When you want to use this directory handling, and you needed to import one thing is OS. And we needed to depend on this package, OS package. There has a function is mkdir. Mkdir can help us to create a folder. Okay, so now we can go to our program. Here is import OS mkdir. And we can see our file in here. And we just run our import OS and OS mkdir. We run it. You can see this one. My directory is here. This is a new folder. Just let's modify it in few seconds. Okay, so you can see here, I threw our Python to create a directory. Okay, so I can use mkdir to help us to create a new directory. Just mkdir. So you needed to remember. Or if say I needed to create a folder, I can through mkdir this function to deal with. Okay, but you needed to remember one thing is that mkdir this function is not already exist in our Python language. That is existing in our OS package. So you needed to import OS package at the beginning. So we import OS and we depend on OS package to create our my directory folder. Okay. So that is your directory name. So you can create the other directory like ncku. Okay. And I run it again. So I back to here, I can see ncku is here. This is a new folder, right? So we can just do mkdir to create a new folder. That is the first thing. And the second thing is more interesting. Okay, we needed to depend on one thing is this directory already existed? If not existed, we just create a new directory. Okay, if this directory is already exist, we just tell them, oh, this directory already exists. Okay, so how to evaluate? You needed to use a conditional statement. Okay, OS path exists, and we put our directory title in here. So that will help us to evaluate today this folder is in here or not. If today this folder is already in our computer, that will print a statement. And if else, and please just create a new one. So I can run it. So now we can back to here. You can see we already have a two folder, right? One is mydir, the other one is ncku. And if I run this, what's our result? What's our result? Our result will be mydir directory already exists, or just help us to create another mydir. First one or second one? First one or second one. That will print this statement or create another folder. Which one is correct? You think it's first one, please raise your hand. Directory already exists. Is this program will show directory already exists? If you think it's second one, please raise your hand. No people? Okay. So you need to understand this. OS path exists. That is just use the package OS, and in OS package there has the other fault is path, and the path point exists. We through this can help us to understand today the directory exists or not. Okay, so I will show you this. I can show you import OS directory is ncku, and I can use OS path point exist. True. Okay, so they already evaluate our path, and they understand ncku this folder already exists in our computer. So let's just show true. So now it's the same situation. We need to evaluate the mydir is existing in our computer or not. Okay, so if today that is true, that will just print this statement. If that is false, that will help us to create another folder. So we run it, that will be my directory already exists. Okay, they just show this statement. But if today I use my directory 1, what's the result? I think that will create a new one, right? So we run it again. They not show anything because they only help us to create a new folder. In here, you can see my directory 1 is in here. So that is just a new folder in here. And we can back to our computer to find out our disk. Here you can see there has 3 folders just created by myself, created by my Python language. Okay, so maybe you can try to use this. Maybe you can write down these programs in your computer and try to use it and to experience how to create a folder, create a directory in your computer. I give you 2 minutes. Also, people already finished, and we just move on. Just about the deleted if the directory already exists. And we will understand what is mkdir, just like make a directory. That just help us to create a new one. And we also have the other thing is deleted. What's deleted is just remove the directory. So you will see is remove, rm is remove, mk just make. Okay, so rm directory is just help us to remove the directory from our computer. And the mk directory is just make a new directory in our computer. So you needed to remember these two things. So if today I use MYDIR, and this helps us to evaluate today that is exist or not, and we can depend on the result to conduct the different action. If today that already exists, we just remove it. So we enter it. My directory 1 already be deleted. So you will see here, my directory 1 already be deleted. Okay? So that is their difference. One is RMDIR, the other is MKDIR. Okay? And if you are ready, and we just move on about our file handling. Our file handling. Our file handling is here. Okay. And actually, directory handling is really boring. That is just about create a folder, create a directory, and delete the directory. And but in our file handling, there emerge more actions, including in our file handling process. Okay. So in our file handling process, that will introduce you how to open and close, and read and write the file. Actually, every time we want to open a file, maybe we can open a text file, and we needed to read the text file, and we needed to write the other things in our file, and later we needed to close it. So every time they're just including 4 actions in our file handling function. Okay. So here you can see we also need to use OS, because if today the thing is related to our file or directory, we always need to import our OS package. So we need to import OS package, and we can use a file equal to my file txt, and we also use this way to evaluate today this file is exist or not. And if today that is already exist, we just remove that. And if not, we just say, oh, this file is not exist. Okay, so this way is also similar to our file, our directory handling. Okay, so that is just easy. And the other thing is read. Okay, what is read? We need to use open. We can open a text, and with R mode. The R mode means that is read mode. Okay, and we need to assign this as F, because at the letter, at the end, we need to show that F close. We just close this. We not make this function is continue running in our computer. Okay, so we needed to close it to avoid not wasting too many memory in our computer. Okay, so read only is R, just our read mode. And this can help us to open the text for reading, and the handle is positioned as the beginning of the file. So if the file does not exist, writes the IO error. IO error means your file is not exist, so they can read it. Okay, so maybe we just back to our program, and the first one is just to check the file is exist or not. So we will find out my file does not exist, and later we want to show the R mode, read mode. Okay, we want to read the text txt, and we will find out no such file or directory is text txt. So we want to, if today we want to open it, we needed to create a text in here at the beginning. So I can create a txt. Okay, maybe I just create 1, 2, 3 txt. Okay, and I create a 123txt, and I put some words in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I save it and I close it. So I want to open 1, 2, 3 text with read mode, and we needed to print. We want to print F. We want to print this text, and we use read function to read. If there has some word, please just read it, and we print it. And you can see here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So now please create a text. Create a text, and you need to put some word or paragraph into your text file, and you need to open it with your R mode, and your R mode, and assign this open into our F variable, and we need to pass on this variable to read it. Okay, to read it. Read, this is a function. Okay, and this function can help us to read something from our text file, and we can through the print to print it. Okay, and maybe you will feel a little bit confused if that's possible. Today I don't use print. This will not show anything. This will not show anything. Otherwise today you print it. So I just needed to print it to show the value from the text file. So now please try to create a file and a test, and try to use this code.